Welcome to Rizal Provincial Technical Educational and Skills Development Center Binangonan. Our mission and vision is to deliver industry-aligned training programs that foster technical expertise and innovation for economic process and social upliftment. By 2028, our PTSDC will be the training center of innovation, high-quality technical education, and skills development in the Rizal province. This video will serve as the evacuation plan. We don't know when an emergency will happen while we are at our workplace. In normal days, employees use designated entrances and exits, but in an emergency scenario, regular entrances and exits may not be the quickest or the safest way out.
In this video, you will learn how to protect yourself and how to behave properly during an earthquake. An earthquake is one or multiple series of vibrations on the ground that can cause serious damage to persons and property. During an earthquake, do not run away. Falling objects represent a danger. If you're inside, take shelter under a sturdy piece of furniture or in the corner of a wall. Stay away from windows and mirrors. Do not face them. Cover your head and neck. If you're outside, stay away from buildings and everything that could collapse. If you're driving, pull up your car at a safe distance from everything that could fall down. Stay inside your car until the earthquake is over. After the earthquake, be careful, there might be aftershocks. Listen to the radio for safety instructions. Close the water and gas inlet taps. Open windows and doors in the event of a gas leak. Leave the building. Don't use an elevator. Make your way to an open space. Eventually, head for a meeting point. Take your personal documents, warm clothes, and essential medication with you. Walk in the middle of the road and pay attention to falling objects. Don't smoke and don't light candles because of an explosion risk. Don't touch falling power lines. Don't make phone calls in order not to congest the telephone network. School children are taken care of at school. It is dangerous and not necessary to pick them up. Block access to damaged buildings. Stay away from coastal areas as there may be a risk of a tsunami. Make sure that your neighbors, especially if they're old or handicapped, do not need help. How to address the risk. Familiarize yourself with possible natural catastrophes in your country and safeguard measures. Arrange a meeting point for your family. Prioritize earthquake-resistant house constructions. Select your shelter areas. Store dangerous items properly in order to prevent them from falling. Secure devices and heavy pieces of furniture. Prepare your emergency disaster kit and first aid kit.
In case of a fire in your workplace, please follow these steps.
If you ever discover a fire or smoke, warn everyone. Activate fire alarms or call emergency services on 911. If you have been trained and it is within your ability, use firefighting equipment to control the fire. Most importantly, maintain a clear escape route at all times. If you cannot control the fire, evacuate the building. If it's safe to do so, confine the spread of smoke and fire by closing all doors. If in a smoke-filled area, stay low. You must take the most direct and safest route to exit the building. In an emergency, do not collect your belongings before exiting. Remain calm. Do not run or use the lifts. Once outside, do not re-enter the building. Stay at the emergency assembly area, unless otherwise instructed or given the all-clear to re-enter the building.
These are the emergency pathways on both the ground floor and the second floor hallways. Here is the emergency pathway for the ground floor hallway from the left side of the building. When following the emergency pathway, make sure to stay calm and do not panic. Here is the emergency pathway for the second floor hallway from the right side of the building. Some can go downstairs to exit the building, but it is more advised to follow the emergency pathway for a much safer route. There is an escape emergency ladder at the rightmost of the balcony.
Here are the fire extinguishers and first aid boxes located on the ground floor. And here are the fire extinguishers and first aid boxes located on the second floor.
Most fire extinguishers require 4 steps for operation. The acronym PASS can be used to remember these 4 steps. Pull the pin on the extinguisher to break the tamper seal. Aim the extinguisher nozzle or hose low towards the base of the fire. Squeeze the handle to release the extinguishing agent. Sweep the nozzle from side to side at the base of the fire until it is extinguished. Users must refrain from touching the plastic discharge horn on carbon dioxide fire extinguishers as it can get very cold and damage the skin.
Here are the different types of fire extinguishers. First, halon extinguishers have the color green and the letter A on its canister, and it is used to put out ordinary combustibles. Next is water extinguishers. They have the color red and has the letter B on its canister. It is used to put out flammable liquids. Dry powder extinguishers have the color blue and has the letter C, and it is used to put out fires caused by electrical appliances. Then foam extinguisher. These have the letter D and the color yellow. They are used to put out combustible metals. And lastly, we have carbon dioxide extinguisher. These have the color black and the letter E, and are used for flammable gases. Here are the locations of fire extinguishers on the ground floor. There is 2 on the hallway of the ground floor. There is 1 in front of the driving NC2 room. And there is 1 in front of the restroom beneath the stairs. The common room contains 1 fire extinguisher and a first aid box with a checklist. Make sure to read the notices and safety first posters at the entrance of the room. The first aid box contains most of the things that a person needs in a medical emergency. The small workshop is most likely the biggest fire hazard room in the entire building since sparks can go anywhere and may cause a fire. The small workshop contains 2 fire extinguishers and has a first aid box. There are some people doing grinding work in the driving NC2 area. Sparks may fly out and cause fires. The room contains a foam fire extinguisher and a first aid box. The bread and pastry making training work area is also one of the most hazardous rooms. People may get burnt or may accidentally start a fire. But this room contains a fire extinguisher at the entrance. A first aid box in the middle of the room. And a green fire extinguisher at the end of the room, next to a fire exit. Let's move on to the second floor. There is a fire extinguisher and an emergency pathway map on the left side of the stairs and next to the staff bathroom. And on the right side of the stairs, there is also another emergency pathway map and a fire extinguisher. The dressmaking work area contains a fire extinguisher and a first aid box. When working in the dressmaking work area, please be cautious and careful as you may accidentally cut or poke yourself. And if you do not be shy to use the first aid box. The fire extinguisher on the hallway outside of the dressmaking work area can be used on the library, trainer's room, and the records room, as these rooms do not contain a fire extinguisher. The office is where most employees are stationed at, and it contains a fire extinguisher at the entrance or exit of the room. Lastly, Duavitshall. This is where employees, higher-ups, and officials do their meetings and conferences. This room contains a first aid and 2 fire extinguishers at the back of the room, next to the office pantry. There is an agriculture and gardening room behind the main building, and it contains a fire extinguisher next to the entrance. And a first aid box next to the tool room. There are manual fire alarms per floor, one at the ground floor next to the common room and information desk, and one at the second floor next to the office. During an emergency, please make sure to stay calm and never panic. Look around your surroundings for an exit and follow emergency pathways. Use fire extinguishers if needed and evacuate into muster points. For further information, please visit our website.